Hello to my Capricorns. Capricorns, all right, Capricorns, a very generous fellow Capricorn, gifted a very special person with a free 15-minute reading. So, if you reach out to me at 202-460-3205 on May 14th between the hours of 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, look at your calendar, check the time conversion, call me for a free 15-minute reading. It will be the first person to reach out to me for a free 15-minute reading. Please call me for a free 15-minute reading. Well, let's just do a real quick card spread to just do a general reading for anybody who may want some answers about some things that's going on in your life right now. But yeah, congratulations. We do have some generous, people out here in the world. They also promised to do another, giveaway, generous, pay for someone else to get a free reading. And so stay tuned for that. I've already prayed over your cards. This is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you. Let's go. First card out of the deck is the Justice card and also the Empress card, right? So somebody may be, just doing some careful evaluation of who you're going to, looks like who you may be feeling a little indecisive about, and or who you may have felt a little indecisive about, and making sure you're not doing any injustices to yourselves anymore. And then finally getting some rest about some things, like just reevaluating all of the relationships in your lives and just making sure you're not prematurely cutting people off. Remember, we are in a phase of the moon where we're in the first quarter moon phase. So that means not only are you looking at your relationships, you're genuinely looking at them to decide who you, not only setting an intention, but putting action behind the intention. So if you say, I'm going to blossom in this cycle, and the rose-colored glasses have been removed in the previous cycle, and this cycle, now I know that my rose-colored glasses have been removed in terms of my time, money, so on and so forth. And I say I want to start investing more into myself. I need to start spending less time holding on to things that really just don't serve my highest purpose. And I need to invest more time in growing. I need to cut ties with anything, any emotions, any unhealthy relationships with people, places, and things, starting with myself, holding on to fear, instability, indecisiveness as it relates to people, places, and things. And I need to start growing my abundance. This is the Empress card. Your abundance is growing. Your prosperity is growing when you start thinking about multiple streams of income. So remember, Pentacles is never just about money. It's about money, your health, your home life, your generosity, your practicality, all of those things, because health is also wealth. So imagine being stressed out about money and then thinking, losing your hair or reaching for unhealthy snacks or, being chained to uncertainty about your future and, making a poor decision about those kind of things. So somebody has said, I'm not holding on to things that could ultimately make a bad decision, cause me to make a poor decision. I'm just going to go ahead and get me some rest. I'm going to get some rest, and I'm going to stop holding on to some things that could cause me to make a poor decision. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. And I do see somebody saying, okay, I need to get locked in the laser focus, the number 8, landing on the light side of the number 8. So the light side of the number 8 is saying, because 8 is the karmic number, right? So I want, and remember, when you turn the number 8 to the left or to the right, it's a cycle. You want positive cycles in your life, right? So you want the karmic cycles or the negative cycles out of your life. So that 8 looks like the infinity symbol. So you want infinite good energy to flow in and out of your life, right? So you want to make sure you're not holding on to anything, any cycles in your life. So you want Source to break those negative cycles in your life of maybe holding on to something of maybe feeling like you're not good enough, you're not worthy, to be around certain types of people, places, and things. So I see you being able to defend your decision to move on from some things that you may have been holding on to without even coming across as defensive. If that makes sense to somebody, yeah, there you are, moving on. And so I do see you being in the light about some things. Yeah, maybe holding on to, somebody else's idea of money and wealth and generosity. And, you're getting away from people who see you as just material possessions. Like, what can you do to provide for me when you're trying to provide for yourself? Seeing you as a means to an end. When you're trying to, provide for yourself, you're trying to, release some other things that you may not have felt like you were good enough or worthy or whatever the case may be. So you're releasing a lot of things. Any injustices you may have felt like, you were doing to yourselves. Here we also have the Eight of Swords here. As I was driving somebody crazy. See this right here? Creativity drying up. Your intuition drying up. It's kind of hard to think when you feel like, okay, I'm broke. I'm broken. My health is broken. You can't provide, health care, can't get health care for yourself. You can't, you can't buy just the basic necessities because you're trying to, for somebody, I don't know who I'm talking to, but somebody could have been, like I said before, holding on. Remember, time is money. Time is money, right? So somebody could have been spending a whole lot of time thinking about the wrong thing on the dark side of the number 8, succumbing to passive and powerless behavior, like almost woe is me. I'm so scared, to do things. I'm scared to start an online business. I'm scared what people were going to think. I'm scared of traveling. I'm so afraid, just operating and holding on to this fire right here, holding on to miserable thoughts, like being in your own personal fire or your own personal hell. Somebody says, you know what? I'm stepping into my own light. So somebody has been possibly spending more time in prayer or being around people who inspire and motivate you. That's what I'm looking at here in the cards, because it can be these thoughts right here, this number 8 right here, and this 8 right here. It's like this sword right here. For every sword, you're cutting your own money. You're cutting your own health. You're cutting your own generosity. You know what I'm saying? Like you've fallen on your own sword when it comes to your own time. It just washes itself out. Every negative thought messes up your money. Every negative thought messes up your health. Every negative thought messes up your generosity. Every negative thought, messes up your logic. It doesn't even make any sense. After a while, you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired. So somebody says, you know what? I need to get to the light side of the number 8. I need to get around some people who inspire and motivate me. I need to change my way of thinking. I need to get away from the negativity altogether. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you, right? Here we have the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, you need to get away from gold diggers. So 2 types of energies, in particular, they need to be kept outside of your business altogether, right? Remember, snow is also a form of water, and water connects us with healthy relationships, right? Healthy relationships. It also connects us with intuition. It connects us with feelings, subconscious habits, moods. It connects us with sexuality. It connects us with joy. It connects us with creativity. You don't want to even create with people who see you as a way to get inside your vault door. You don't even want to be a pick-me. You don't even want to be connected to those types of energies. If it's not, they give you the cold shoulder when they can't use you, and you being around those types of energies, and they contaminate your water, so you give off that type of energy, right? So sources saying, I'm going to put you around some warmer spirit people to make sure you are financially independent, so that you land on the light side of the number 8. So you'll recognize, okay, good people do win, right? People who operate in purpose. That's the number 8, operating in purpose, so that you don't feel like, you're going crazy, right? So you don't feel like that you are losing your mind, that you feel like you're going bonkers, that you're going crazy. So yeah, source is saying, get some rest, get some rest. Just stay away from those types of energies. Here's a Lover's card. Yeah. Some kind of partnership in business and or in love, because somebody could be also thinking too, like, am I am I worthy? Am I good enough for love? Am I good enough, possibly based on past relationships? Based on, just who knows what you saw in just your past relationships. And again, really everything that you need is you're going to find it operating in purpose. And the overall purpose really is to become a better human being for mankind. When you wake up, set your intentions, and it sounds simple, but it actually does the work. I think looking at the card, somebody is like putting way too much emphasis, you way too much time / money in overthinking and just burning yourselves out when you think about it. Source is saying, wake up, add some thought, like you make it make sense. Okay, your head and heart don't need to be at war with each other. And you think to yourself, how can I invest in myself to become a better human being, to inspire, this is fire, to inspire other human beings? How, if I say it to myself, what would inspire me and then also would inspire other people? Right? Like something as simple as like looking in the mirror and saying you're smart, right? To tell a person that's like, you can do it, like that you have, like if you told another person, it's like, yeah, you have it in you to do it. You have it in you to start a business. You have it in you to do, that would sound very motivational, right? Why wouldn't you say that to yourself first, right? You have it in you to do it. So if you can motivate other people, why aren't you doing the mirror work to motivate you, right? And that's what Eight of Swords is. It's like looking back into that mirror and saying, if I can motivate other people, why am I not doing it for myself first, right? And so that's what Source is trying to tell you. Is like, get away from people who give you the cold shoulder when they, when when they look at you and they don't motivate you, when they can't get stuff from you, just like whatever their definition of, whatever that is, you have to define yourself. You have to define your own worth. And so that's what Source is trying to get you to do, is you define your own worth. So allow Source to remove energies from your life. Don't look back. Because I mentioned this a while back, Source will have you walking past your vault door until your knees buckle. And I'm not even joking when I say that, until your knees buckle, because you're that close to opening up your vault door. So Source is saying there is no going back to energies that gave you the cold shoulder. Cut them off. And so you either sit there until your teeth chattering and your knees buckling, feeling freezing cold, no matter what the temperature is where you are in the world. It could be 900 degrees where you are, but you'll keep walking past your vault door until you release, energies being just that close to, the vault door. And so Source is saying, now that you're in the light about some things, 2 major prayers that you've been praying for, and possibly for somebody, like I said, you have a partnership in business and partnership in love trying to come in. You shouldn't be indecisive about it anymore. You should not be indecisive about whether you're good enough, whether you're worthy. These 2 cards right here are ruled by Mercury. Mercury is no longer post-shadow retrograde. It was post-shadow retrograde up until the 13th of May, right? And so very clear answers are coming through. You are good enough. You are worthy. This is about, developing a loving relationship with yourself. This is Gemini, right? This is Gemini and this is Virgo. And both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by the communication and messenger planet. What kind of message are you sending to yourself when you look in the mirror, right? This is the sender sign. This is the receiver sign, right? And so what kind of message are you sending to yourself? That's how you attract your person in business and also in. So when you look in the mirror, you should not have on blindfolds and feel restricted in what you tell yourself. If you can look out at your friends and see greatness in your friends and see greatness in everybody else, take the blindfolds off when you look in the mirror, right? And see greatness in yourself. Why do I feel so bound? Why does everybody else see greatness in me and I don't see greatness in myself? What is the formula that everybody else is doing? Am I overthinking this? Like, you all are the hardest working sign in the zodiac. Am I carrying other people's snow, icy? This is water, right? Water. Remember, you all are the seagull. I'm trying to simplify this as much as I can. Am I carrying other people's icy reception? Water, which is ice is a form of water. Am I carrying other people's intuition, their idea of relationships, in any working relationships, professional, their relationship with money, whatever, their idea of success. Am I carrying other people's idea of all of those things on my shoulder? So when I feel like I give myself an icy reception if I'm not successful by their idea of success. I need to free myself of other people's idea of success. I need to start loving up on myself more. So, and stop putting that pressure on myself. Sometimes parents can do it, because when we talk about the Pentacles energy, that's developed between the ages of 0 and 7, right? I need to position myself around energies and cut ties with any energy. I need to stop lying to myself, because this card right here connects us with the Justice card and the Hierophant card, this is Libra and that's Taurus, connects us with the planet Venus, right? So Venus is the planet of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics. It's a peacemaker planet, right? Am I disrupting my own peace by not seeing, because this is where somebody's not seeing, that I may be connected to, and this may step on somebody's corns, I may be connected to parents or a parent that is disrupting my peace because of some sort of green with envy, some sort of vain or vengeance for their own, somebody giving them kind of icy reception. I'm not trying to step on somebody's corns or anything like that, not trying to start anything. I'm just simply reading the cards. My point to you is, Source is saying to you some good news is trying to come in. It's a lot of things that's going on in your life. You have to create the life that you want for yourself, and you can't live your life for your family, meaning your parents, your siblings, whoever. Source is saying to you, cut ties with this idea of this iciness to yourself. And now it's time to cut, like I said, create the life that you want for yourself. Yeah, create the life that you want for yourself. Everybody's parents has this idea of, and again I'm specifically talking about, because long before we get to this right here, not being able to see, and you feel like your creativity is drying up. Creativity speaks to, like I said before, is you creating the life that you want for yourself, right? So let's say you grow up in a family of doctors and lawyers and engineer and stuff like that, and you want to be a musician, or you want to be you want to paint rocks, or you want to be an artist in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And so you feel like you're not smart enough. You feel like your business isn't doing well. And I'm telling you, it's just this simple. You may have to go off and be successful in your own and be in your own element, then come back, to show people that you are going to be successful. A lot of families, I'm telling you, a lot of families feel like their idea of success is ... And if it's not their way of doing it, it's their way or the highway. And it causes a lot of stress and misery for a lot of people if you want to go off and do your thing. This right here lets me know that someone's creativity is drying up because they're around people who give them the icy reception because they're not bringing in a certain amount of money because of their art. So they feel like, okay, and it's creating a lot of sadness. So it's hard for you to see. It's hard for you to see just creativity. Even reading cards is creative. But if I was around a lot of people, like if I talked about, my career, that would be like what type of career, which I don't need to talk about because I'm not trying to impress anybody. But if I wanted to kind of sort of talk about resume and career and that kind of, there would be a lot of oohs and ahs. Ooh, really? Oh, wow, I didn't know that. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I read cards. If that's not impressive to somebody else, I don't care. Personally, I just don't. But for somebody, that may be like, oh, that's all. She reads cards. I really don't care. I'm operating in purpose. Source is saying when you're talking about operating in purpose, you're operating in purpose to help another human being. The first human being would be yourself, to help shine a light on what you're doing. Somebody has to really get delivered from other people's opinions. And the first opinions you want to get delivered from as an adult is your families. That's the first, those are the first opinions you want to get delivered from, because I feel like somebody feels stifled, like their growth feels stifled, like they feel like they literally going crazy because they don't feel like their money is going. So source needs to put you around some people. So some good news is trying to come in, but somebody's going to have to cut ties. It's just no other way. Somebody's going to have to be able to defend their decision to move on, or else you are going to feel like you are literally going crazy, like literally losing your mind. You're going to have to cut ties, because the only thing that some families see is, are you bringing honor, to the family name? That's it. That's all. And whatever by that definition. So, however, so there's who was the act? It's an actress. I think I mentioned this one time before. Who was I think it was Reese Witherspoon. She gave a speech at one of I forgot which award ceremony it was, and it was like sort of like a comedic kind of speech. And she said something about her mom and said something about her getting a real job, even after she's a multi-award winning actress and those kind of things. But that happens a lot, but sometimes you have to go out and find your community, where you can thrive, so that you're not living under that microscope of, the expectations of your family. Sometimes your family won't support anything that you do until you define success. And that's what this is right here, because otherwise you will literally just give up on your dreams and go into a zombified state. And you'll be one of those people that said, if I coulda, woulda, shoulda, and just be miserable and be a misery to everybody around you. Oh, looking down at people, turning your nose up at people. So I see you getting to your throne, carefully vetting your thoughts, adjust your crown. You're incredibly smart, and it's time for you to do you. Here we have King of Cups. Source is going to put you around some energies that's very wise, who are very, help you tap in, right? Help you to tap in and help you to focus on watering your soil, right? Planting some new seeds and watering your soil so that you can flourish, so you can really, really grow. And so that's why I talk so much. Here we have this right here, passing down, gifts, right? So definitely you have some gifts and talents that were passed down to you, right? But it's time to put a manhole cover over the past. So if you've been in past relationships that you thought were twin flame relationships and they didn't work out, or friendships that didn't work out, that seemed like they zapped or exhausted all of your water, it's right down there in the sexuality, sensuality, quality of relationships, friendships. It's right there in your joy, your intuition. All of that is in a sacral chakra. And if you're down there trying to impress family members, all of that is in your water. So somebody could be around energy vampires. And all it takes is for you to be around people, like I said, i.e. me helping you to pull your birth chart, find out what your moon sign is, go to Google and type in how to nurture moon in such and such, whatever, for man or woman, and start doing those things to start pouring back into your cells. Find out what your Chiron is, Chiron. I have a link for birth chart and Chiron below. Don't wait until you're about to have a nervous breakdown to learn how to pour into yourselves. A lot of people don't know how to teach people how to pour into themselves and to nurture themselves. This past weekend, the moon was in Cancer, so it was super sensitive time for a lot of people. And if you felt like, okay, I just want to be around family, but if family wasn't nurturing you over the weekend and you felt even more drained being around family over the weekend, guess what? In turn, you may be draining around your coworkers, during the week, because you just need that extra nurturing, and that could make you come across as like this, a person who is self-sabotaging, right? And you may need that extra nurturing, especially if you're emotionally drained, okay? A lot of times people keep going around family members and keep getting this icy reception. People are bragging on these family members over here. Oh, this one's a doctor. This one went to law school. This one ended up an engineer. And somehow nobody is talking about the life that you're creating for yourself. No support. And the way that families will sometimes do it, they won't show up at your art shows. They won't support your brand. They won't support this. They won't support that. And it's a sad situation. And even after you've made it, some of them will say, or like, for instance, let's say you're a card reader. You could be a multi-million-dollar, you know, spiritualists or whatever the case may be. They may not show up at, well, we don't believe in that kind of stuff until somebody that they respect in a religious connect to them in a religious community, respects you. Oh my God, I had no idea. Then all of a sudden they want to somehow tell people that they know you or related to you or connected to you as a way in. Source is saying you're going to have to stand firm and say, no, you got to keep that same energy. You're going to have to be the one. You work too hard, Capricorn, to this is all of this right here are emotions. Your symbol is a sea goat. You're the greatest of all time. And a sea goat, you're trying to sift through your emotions. You shouldn't have to carry other people's prejudice about your creativity. Their ignorance about your creativity, how you're creating. This is creating the life for yourselves. You have a lot of gifts and talents, and a lot of people don't want to respect how you create the life that you have. So let Source wash people away out of your life that have an issue with how you're creating the life that you're trying to create for yourselves. Don't do that. Don't wash away your dreams because other people around you sitting around there looking like they sucking on a lemon. Because your idea of success, those gifts were given to you from Source. Don't go out like that. That's a very sad, unhappy life. Very sad, unhappy life. And so you want to live your absolute. It's a gift, and your gifts actually will make room for you. The very people who don't support you right now while you like this, trying to drive you crazy, I guarantee you they are just like this right here. Misery loves company. They don't want to. Because they're not thinking. They're not thinking creatively themselves. So they want to give you every example of how other people weren't successful in the life that they created for themselves or whatever. Oh, this person, they weren't successful when they tried to do it either. They weren't successful when they tried to do it either. Creativity is creativity. Whereas one person may have decided, hey, they, maybe they wanted to be in a, let me give somebody an example of what I'm talking about. So when you talk about creativity, let's say, for instance, let's say, because I think when we're talking about art, whatever art is to whomever, right? When we talk about art is whatever, art is subjective. It's an expression, or an application of human creative skill and imagination, right? So that's where you're looking at your life and just saying whatever you imagine your life to be, you can go off and decide you create whatever you want to create. Like a lot of people may say, okay, I want to be an engineer, or I want to go to medical school or whatever, but I also want to play, an instrument, so you may have people that have, this job during the day, but then they do something else at night or kind of on the side, but they may, really follow their passion, right? There's whatever it is, you don't have to impress anybody. Go for whatever it is that you want to do, but be so locked in and laser focused. I think when I look at the cards here, because Pentacles cards came out first, and I'm seeing the Five of Pentacles, I feel like somebody, I do feel like somebody is really struggling with feeling kind of sort of left out as far as family is concerned. See this right here? Maybe getting icy reception from family members, as it relates to your financial situation. I don't know what other way to say this. I really don't. Like it except to just come up front street with it. You're going to have to cut some people off. For real. You're going to have to cut some people off and just say, listen, I need to create the life that I need to create. I need to find my community of energies. And then I'm going to have to come back at a later time. Or when I say cut off, it doesn't mean that you're going to have to so for some people, you don't have to cut them off completely. Some people will, because just depending on how much is driving you crazy. But some people, you're going to have to cut them off from information about what you're creating. You may have to stop going to family functions. You may have to just call them, just say, hey, just checking on you, letting you know I'm good, blah, 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 blah. Okay, click. I'm not trying to hear about how this person is so successful. Not trying to hear about this sibling, that sibling, what they're doing, all of this other stuff, because it just brings you sadness. So somebody's going to have to say, okay, I need to create the life that I want, because I feel like some family members, it's a form of torture. That's and the reason I'm staying on family, because this is what I'm seeing here in the cards. It's just a form of torture to keep putting yourself in situations where, and when you really need to be in these situations right here, you need to be around people that's going to really help, pour into you and get away from that. You'll start to see how some family members come back around. It's so disingenuous. Because that's what it's all about for some family members. It's all about money. Oh, so-and-so got the big house. I was scared for you for a minute. I wasn't sure how things were going to turn out, because when you said that you wanted to sing, or that you wanted to tap dance, or that you wanted to create such and such, I didn't know how it was going to turn out. Because their parents may have done the same thing to them. Source is saying you're gonna have to create the life that you want for yourself. That's the only way that you're gonna live your best life, thriving here on planet Earth, because Source gave you these gifts. Source gave you these gifts. It is so much deeper when I look at your cards here, and so that's what I'm seeing for you all. And Source gave you a lot of gifts to create the life that you want. And so this is going to make you financially independent, but you're going to have to make some decisions to cut some people. You're going to have to cut access. Like, you don't have to cut them out of your life. For some of you all, some people have completely cut their families off. They're just like, y'all are just too negative. But for those of you all who may be really struggling, this is where you tap into that creativity and say, I'm going to create the life that I want, but I cannot tell them what life I'm creating for myself. I'm going to have to cut them off from access to that part of my life. I'm going to create that kind of life. It's almost like, I can't even say having a secret life, because you're just you're creating the life, and you'll let them know when your definition of success, you'll let them know when everything is prepared the way you want it to be prepared. And that's what I have for you. And so you have another scheduled video, but this is just a pop-up video to let you know that we do have someone who is generous to, pay for a video. So I will extend the time from 10:30 to 11:30. First person that reaches out to me to 202-460-3205. Like I said, somebody paid for a 15-minute call for you all. Another Capricorn paid for a 15-minute call for you all. And so first person that calls me, then you get the free reading. Okay, that's what I have for you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.